no, the first instrument that I really like, really started to, because everybody always say like when you play drums, it's like people would say, you want to be a musician, learn how to play the piano first. I'm like, no, I don't want to know how to play the piano. I want to play the drums. They're like, well, it's a percussion instrument. No, I know, but it doesn't look like the drums. It doesn't sound like the drums. I want to play the drums, so. Yeah. So when I first like got drums, it was I want to say it was my after my 11th birthday, and my birthday is gonna be on Sunday, November 7th. So
oh, nice. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday.
Thank you. But I'm saying, like, it was Christmas, and so my mom, she comes to me, she's like, because I was all into like Batman comics and this and that, so I got all the stuff that I wanted, and then she's like, so did you have a good Christmas? I'm like, yeah. But I really wanted a drum set, and I lived with my great grandparents at the time, but my mom would come over and, like be with us. And so my great grandparents didn't want to fucking hear that cacophony of fucking bullshit, you know what I mean? That I have to get through just to get semi good, you know what I mean? And so we went, and so it was December 27th, and it was after Christmas, and so my mom's like trying to like go through this, and then my great grandmother had my great grandfather, and so she had to like kind of be like discreet, about like spending money and this and that, but she went and like co-signed for my mom to buy these drums for me, and I remember like the day that we went there, it was like a Sunday, so they have to like call the bank, like, this is back, what, 1986 or something like that, 87 or whatever. And so so they have to call the bank, get the approved and all this kind of shit, so it takes a while, and you stand there, you go, please, 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 like all this kind of stuff. And we got out of there, and my mom, she got approved, with my grandma's like co-signing, but it was a Sunday, so we couldn't really take anything out of the shop. And I remember I was crying in my mom's Nissan Pulsar. You know what I mean? I'm just like, and then I finally got the drums. I'm like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't believe it. So I've just been super passionate about playing drums, like, for as long as I've.
Dystopia tonight. Dystopia tonight.
Hey, how are you, sir?
Hello.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Hi. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. Good. Unfortunately for you guys, then I'm fine.
How you been, man?
I've been good. I just if you can't see, I have UCSC. I'm a go the other way. I'm gonna pop up to nice. A little banana slug that's going to UC Santa Cruz.
Oh, very nice, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm awaiting for her to come back home, and 15 days I get to hold her again.
So. That's fucking awesome, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's she coming home for? Christmas, like holiday break or whatever?
Yeah, it's like that. But I'm gonna tell you something, okay? So yeah. So I went to like go drop her off at UC Santa Cruz, and we get there, and it's a fucking gorgeous campus. It's 2,000 acres, and there's fucking all this shit, and they go you go like a sucker to like buy all this stuff to support the school, and I buy these socks, and they say like no known predators for banana slugs. But then I got this like parent notification that says, due to the inactivity of students being on campus, like there's mountain lions around. I'm all, well, I'm calling bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, no known predators. I mean, a banana slug or my banana slug. You know what I mean? It's like, my banana slug that came out of my banana slug. You know, that's the only thing I care about banana slugs. You know what I mean? Like, fucking come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
You need to have that on a sign and stand outside the school protesting with that.
Yeah, I'm just like, come to the fucking school of Mike Cosgrove. There will be no known predators, and we'll be fucking all good. You might not learn a lot, but you might not die. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. What a terrible fucking sign to have at the college you're sending your kid off to. You know what? There's mountain lions, so you know.
yeah, it's not even a sign. It was a notification in my email. It wasn't even that evident. You know what I mean? It's like, fucking come on.
They're not even warning the students. They're just letting the parents know that they might not come home.
They're all but wear a mask. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
if the mountain lions don't think you look tasty, they won't come for you.
yeah, right.
That's what they teach us.
Or if they can sense that you have COVID, then they'll avoid you. Or something like that.
COVID doesn't happen when you're being attacked by mountain lions or when you're in a restaurant in between bites. That's what I've been told. Not 100% on that, but that is what I've been told. What did you guys wind up doing during the pandemic? Because you were coming out with the IPA right before it hit, and that kind of halted it, right?
Well, yeah, it did. We were like just like wrapping up a record and supposed to like finish it, and then just all that stuff happened. And we played one show, I think, in Alaska. We played 2 shows in Alaska. Like it was last August, and we went out there and did that, and it was cool and fun, but just a little awkward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you guys try to do any of that kind of like streaming shit when you were like when you couldn't go anywhere?
Yeah, all that kind of like bogus, like let's play in front of the camera and pretend like we're really playing.
Dude, that was so. Some of that shit was so fucking bad when they were doing the like pretending they were playing instruments. Literally, I think one guy was just playing on baskets, like old crates from like Home Depot, whatever the hell it was. And I was just like, they're not even trying anymore.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I get it. I know entertainment, you got to do this stuff and like kind of like just keep up with the Joneses and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So you got to do it, but it is just I mean, I guess it's just this is kind of like a one and done. I hope you know what I mean, to where we have to all kind of figure this thing out, and it's there is a bit of a cool like evolution to it. You know what I mean? So
totally. Yeah, some people, I mean, some musicians and stuff that I've talked to are actually like now just like, yeah, we're back out on the road, but also we're kind of incorporating it because we picked up fans from like New Zealand or wherever it is. So they'll still do live stream like charity gigs or whatever. Yeah.
And that's because we played one gig actually before when we went to Alaska. We played one at the Whiskey and we loved playing the Whiskey and everybody's like so awesome there.
Yeah.
And the whole production and everything, everybody was awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just like being there without like an audience, it was just kind of like funny because you're like, okay. And now on to our next song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, there's nothing to feed off of.
Yeah. You need some kind of reciprocity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was the same thing with stand-up, man. I fucking hated Zoom shows. I mean, I did a few of them, and I did some charity ones or whatever, and they were okay, but after a while, you just walked away, and you were like, soul was fucking crushed.
Because you want to hear, like, I mean, I even would appreciate someone just going, boo, you suck, fuck you, this and that. At least it's something.
Yeah, exactly. Did you guys wind up getting back out on the road immediately? Like when it started to like clear up, did you just kind of regroup after that?
No, we've kind of been like at like a little bit of a hiatus, and and just to like say like a little bit, so that, we're in that typical average band fucking bullshit where you got the rad job that you always dreamt about, and then all of a sudden, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. And I'm like, all right.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
See, I feel like because you're the drummer, and you know what? Like, I feel like drummers are always having a fucking blast, no matter what. That's the truth, right?
Well, we make a lot of noise, so if that's like it's like a blast going off the whole time, you know what I mean? So yeah. But I got to tell you that I honestly like I love playing the drums. I love music. Like just there's sometimes I'll dream about like or think about the last time I'll ever play the drums. You know what I mean, or something like that. It's like I have like a little love affair with my drums, and I'm very passionate about playing music and doing that. So
was that your first introduction to music?
What's that?
Was that your first introduction to music, the drums?
Gosh, I don't know. I think my first introduction to music was it was my mom was playing me Heat Wave, and it was like Boogie Nights, boogie nights. And I remember listening to it, I'm like, I like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like just the sound, the groove. I love that, you know, so.
That's awesome. What was the first instrument you wound up picking up?
My dick.
And do you ever get to play it on stage, though?
I don't know. Like a little bit. But no, the first instrument that I really like, you know, really started to, because everybody always say, like, when you play drums, it's like people would say, you want to be a musician, learn how to play the piano first. I'm like, no, I don't want to know how to play the piano. I want to play the drums. They're like, well, it's a percussion instrument. No, I know, but it doesn't look like the drums. It doesn't sound like the drums. I want to play the drums, you know? So, when I first like got drums, it was, I want to say it was my, it was my, after my 11th birthday, and my birthday is going to be on Sunday, November 7th. So,
oh, nice. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. But I'm saying, like, you know, it was Christmas. And so my mom, you know, she comes to me, she's like, you know, cause I was all into like Batman comics and this and that. So I got all the stuff that I wanted. And then she's like, so did you have a good Christmas? I'm like, yeah. But I really wanted a drum set, you know, and I lived with my great grandparents at the time, but my mom would come over and, you know, like be with us. And so my great grandparents didn't want to fucking hear that you know, cacophony of fucking bullshit, you know what I mean, that I have to get through just to get semi good, you know what I mean? And so we went, and so it was December 27th, and it was after Christmas, and so my mom's like trying to like go through this, and then my great grandmother had my great grandfather, and so she had to like kind of be like discreet, you know, about like, you know, spending money and this and that, but she went and like co-signed for my mom to buy these drums for me, and I remember like the day that we went there, it was like a Sunday, so they have to like call the bank, like, you know, this is back, you know, what, 1986 or something like that, 87 or whatever. And so so they have to call the bank, get the approved and all this kind of shit, you know, so it takes a while, you know, and you stand there, you go, please, 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 you know, like all this kind of stuff. And we got out of there, and my mom, you know, she got approved, you know, with my grandma's like co-signing, you know, but it was a Sunday, so we couldn't really take anything out of the shop. And I remember I was crying in my mom's Nissan Pulsar, you know what I mean? I'm just like, you know, and then I finally got the drums. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't believe it. So I've just been super passionate about playing drums like for as long as I can. I mean, I love playing guitar a lot. You know what I mean? I love playing piano a lot. I love playing bass, you know, everything, producing music, doing everything that I do. But drums are just like the thing that kind of like just sounded the coolest. You know what I mean? It just like, there was something about it, you know?
Do you remember the first song you learned to try to play on them?
It was Say It's Your Birthday. My birthday too, yeah. Yeah, so that was the first song, and that it was a kind of easy, you know. So that was cool. The first song that I really learned how to play, the first song I really learned how to play was Sweet Child of Mine.
Oh, nice, dude. That's fucking awesome. That's a great fucking song to do. What was your first paid gig like? Would you remember your first time you got money for doing it?
Gosh, that's a good question. Let me think. Actually, I don't really remember because here's the thing. Like when you start in bands, you know, you get paid such like chump change. You know what I mean? To where you don't really. So you try to put it back, like, into the band account so you can afford flyers. So you can go to Kinko's and print. So it was, you might got like $50, and then you try to make that last. You know what I mean? So
yeah, gas for the road and stuff.
Yeah. So the first time I really remember getting paid was once we finally got signed. We were like to DreamWorks, and I got this money, and I was like, "What?" and then here's the funny part. It's like, so we were recording our record Anthology, and we were at NRG Studios, and out there in North Hollywood, and we were there, and fucking we're at the very end of the day, and there's like a couple like little background vocals and little like overdubs to do, but there was this really, really long chord that was stretched out, and it was it had this really fucking awesome microphone, this Neumann, at the time, I mean, I don't know what the fucking Bitcoin value of it is right now, but it's like it was probably about it was like around like 12 or 15 grand or something like that. And I had just like got a check for $19,000 for like part of like our advance, and we had like more to get, you know what I mean? But they always like go, it's in the pipeline, and you're going, okay, come on, dude. You know what I mean? Like, give me my money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's in the pipeline.
Yeah, and so I had that much, and then I was pushing out my hardware case, and it tugged on that cable for the microphone, and it spilt it over, and I was like, oh my god, it's like I could see it from so far away. I mean, if I was like the Flash, I could go fucking catch it, you know what I mean? But I ain't the Flash, you know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck, man. So I knocked it over, and I saw it spill, and I was like, oh fuck, it's got this like this solid tube to it, and like all this kind of shit, you know what I mean? And they're like, fuck, it's almost like someone like someone that you love is like in the waiting room, and they're like, oh, you're like, what's the update, doc, you know what I mean? Like how's it going, and they're just going like, well, maybe we could do it. And I'm like, fuck, man, like this is now I don't have to pay for this. Yeah. I just got done earning money, and now I'm gonna lose fucking 75% of what I just earned. You know what I mean? And then thank God for this guy Wade, who was like the tech there. He fucking made it work and got it all like soldered back together. Everything was like fine. And I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like kind of holy moly. So that's like the first important amount of money that I've ever made.
and almost lost, which is a perfect story. You're like, almost lost it. Oh, that's fucking crazy, man. Well, so at that point, though, when you got the DreamWorks signing, that must have been like, you felt like you were secure, like you made it?
Well, we were so young. I was 23 years old, so to feel secure and know anything about money, you really don't know what the fuck that means or entails. You know what I mean? So you're just like, to be responsible. I was just like, fucking, I just want to go waste all my money away, like fucking most people do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I didn't know. I was just like, kind of, I had no like kind of I comprehension of what that means. You know what I mean? I didn't own a house. I didn't even own a car. I had a bunch of like, stupid credit card debts and this and that, and I was just like going, fuck, man, at least I got like, I can buy a sandwich and take some girl out on a date and have fun. You know what I mean? That was
it. You just described everything I'd like to do now. So I feel like I get it. That's it. What would you remember, like the most lavish thing, maybe the craziest thing you bought when you first had a lot of money that maybe you shouldn't have purchased?
Probably I bought like an electric drum kit. It was like the fucking, it's like really cool. You go to Guitar Center and you play on them. I originally just pitter patter, all this stuff. man, this is pretty cool. I dig. And then I got it. I'm like, man, this fucking shit sucks because, you know, for one, it's like when you hit it, it's not really like, you know, like really good. And then if you have proper technique, you feel like this, like, sorry, go this. So you feel this shock that goes right here. You know what I mean? So when you hit it, you try to hit it as you would, you know, a natural drum. But for some reason you're not getting enough out of it, and so then you hit it more, and you hit it harder, and then you go, you get fatigued, you know what I mean? And so that was the most lavish and dumb thing that I bought, and that sounds silly, but that for me at that time it was like $5,000, so that was fucking pretty crazy.
Wow, that's fucking that. But that's like a good. I mean, I've heard other people who spent money on like either pure garbage. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, like a car that they were never going to use that was completely impractical. That's pretty awesome though, because that was like for your talent. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I've spent. I mean, if you want to add it all up, I've spent a lot of money on lavish drugs. You know what I mean? So there's that. But I mean,
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to know about.
Oh, you know, want to know like one of the most lavish that I could afford it? I remember when like OG Kush was coming out. You know what I mean? I remember buying an ounce of OG Kush for $500. You know what I mean?
Holy shit!
And then another one, and another one, and another one. You know.
And you're like, and then I just forget how many I've actually bought after that. That was the. Then it just seemed like I had it all.
That was the symptom, you know, like, or whatever. They're not symptoms. What do you say? Side effect. You know.
One of our viewers said the lawyer for the metronome was pretty expensive, and then left.
Metronome.
Metronome.
You know
sorry, metronome.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you guys a fucking crazy story.
Please.
That's so funny you said that. So there was a thing that we used to do. We would get naked and like bounce our dick off of our belly button and back down, and we'd make it in time, and we call it the metronome, right?
Right.
and we so we were on the Warped Tour at the time, and we were on tour with anyway, I'm gonna keep it anyway. So we were in Wisconsin, and I got arrested for doing this thing, and the people they didn't even put me in jail, but they were calling me WWW, and I'm like, what does that mean? You know, they're asking for autographs and this kind of shit. You know, when people didn't have phones and want to take selfies or something like that, whatever, you know, or ussies or whatever you want to call them. But so these guys, they were like, you know, cool, but they kept saying WWW, and I'm like, what does that mean? It's like Wisconsin Weenie Wagger, you know, and the craziest part is that I got in trouble. I got like a civil like suit filed because the clerk, you know, in there was this girl when I did that, and I was with my friends, and I did that. And then she like figured out, yo, this guy's on MTV. I'm gonna go sue him. You know what I mean? And like this and that. And so I just spent $27,000 on just to like go there, because I was like, I'm gonna go off tour. That fucking bitch is lying. There's no way. I'll rather burn down every cent I have rather than give it to her. And she's asking for like fucking like, I don't know, like some crazy hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know what I mean? And it's fucking crazy. And then, you know, she settled for $50,000, and I had to pay $27,000 just to pay her $50,000, you know.
Oh my!
And I had to like get a lawyer to do this and that, and it was just like fucking like crazy. So that's the fucking most lavish thing I guess I've ever done.
I like how you tied that all in together. Whose idea was it to do the metronome thing? Oh, did we listen? We can kind of
Hello?
hear you.
You guys hear me?
Yep, now we can hear you.
Sorry, I got a phone call, so I had to.
Oh, okay.
That was my business manager, Michelle. She was just calling me right now.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
There we go.
Okay, cool. You're back.
Then.
Yeah. Whose idea? Tom, you're muted. Tom, you're muted.
Kid is back.
Everything went wrong there for a second. What were you saying, Tom?
Oh no, I said she was like, no more metronome talk. We don't have it in the budget.
I don't know how to do this. I'm not so fucking tech savvy to where my business manager's calling me, and so I hope that's a good thing. And if it's a bad thing, then I don't want to know. But
yeah,
I think it's good. But
I think it's good too. We'll say it's good.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good now.
Okay.
Tom is saying she was just trying to stop you from talking about the metronome.
You know, maybe she's trying to. She's not even watching. You know what I mean? She's just calling me about business. You know what I mean? So.
Oh God, that's so great. Whose idea was it to do that?
Dude, the metronome?
Yeah. Was it like I mean, like how? Who the fuck goes? Hey guys, let's take our dicks out. And then, like, is it right before you go on stage, or is it like a planned thing?
No, it's just something you do somewhere in the middle of having a good time. You just like joke around and fucking, and then you know, you shake your hips, and if you have a good enough dick, then it makes a sound. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah. See, I feel like comedians don't get to do. I mean, Louis got to do it, but then look what happened to Louis. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's the same thing, but it's kind of the same. Yeah. if he was in a band, it would have gone. If he was in a band, it would have gone completely differently.
Right.
Don't worry, Louis not watching either.
I'm gonna say cheers.
Oh, cheers, man.
All right, come on.
I don't have any. I wish I. Tom, you there? Cheers. You got the alcohol. Cheers. I got nothing.
I'm gonna cheers myself right here.
I don't have. I wish I. Tom, you there?
Yeah, you don't see me.
You got the alcohol. I got nothing. There's a huge delay, by the way. I don't know if it's on your end or my end or.
No, I got you.
You got me? Okay, cool.
Okay, I'm gonna. There's a little latency right there.
Yeah, a little latency. Okay.
A little bit.
I think we're back now.
As long as
I think we're back.
Whoever's engineering, like just as long as we can hear each other, then let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. And then we had a couple people making a couple comments. I saw EJ Ellis S. Is that recording still coming out? I'm not sure what recording he's referring to.
He's probably the new Alien Ant Farm record that we just need to get together and team up. Like, I don't want to say like too much, but it's just, you know, again, it's like this average fucking white band bullshit that we fucking, you know, have to do. You know, so it's like, you know, everybody's got, okay, you know, so I don't want to be next to him. I don't want to be next to him. I don't want this. I don't want that. So it's like, you know, you got to like kind of figure it out, you know. So
yeah.
And then we had another question with somebody asked what happened to John Kirshner asked what happened to Dryden's Instagram. I don't know what that.
Fuck, he has like 17 of them. I don't know.
He just keeps losing his password.
He just keeps getting kicked off or doing something crazy, and then he changes his name, and you know, whatever, you know. So that's what he does, you know, and it's cool. I mean, Dryden's like a fucking, he's super talented and a great singer and writer and all this stuff, you know what I mean? But every once in a while, he fucking will shoot himself in the foot with just like, you know,
right.
There's things that we can say backstage and stuff that you don't say, so you know, this fucking whole cancel culture shit, you know.
Yeah. Well, social media is poison, so I mean, that's just right off the bat, it kind of kills any kind of artistic ability there.
I got in trouble the other day. I put, because I only post like about my daughter, you know, just proud papa, because I just, you know, try to keep everything under the radar, you know what I mean? And so and so I got in trouble because I just made this comment, and you guys, I mean, if you're fucking rad like me, you'll understand what I'm saying. You know, I said the most important words are I'm paraphrasing, so it's not verbatim, but I'm like, the raddest words a girl can say, a woman can say, and I went, wait, like capital wait, and so, and it goes, let me take my tampon out, and I go, with a kiss.
You got in trouble for that?
What's that?
I said I can't believe they gave you shit for that.
Yeah, and then you know, and then I'm like, okay, like people are like, oh, dude, you know, you can't talk like that. And I'm all, well, I guess the worst things a guy can say is that the best words a woman can say. You know, I just reiterated it. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of that too on TikTok and shit now too.
Yeah, and then I go, well, okay, fine. Delete, you know, all that stuff. And I go, let's stop talking about tampons. I'm all, let's talk about tampons. I'm all, I'm like, are there like solar panels up in there? I'm all just asking for my little friend.
Oh, that's great.
Because
yeah,
I mean,
man,
just to be like literal about it, it's like, how is it that my dick is fucking tanner than my fucking body, and it's the least amount of sun that I get? I mean,
you make good points, man. You make good points. I don't know. These are questions that need to be answered, and we'll get them to you.
well, it's definitely been a good point for me, you know. So
yeah. I may lead with that the next time I'm on a date. I'm gonna be like, listen, have you ever thought about this? See how it goes. And if it doesn't go well, I'm fucking texting you. I'm gonna be like,
well,
dude, it's all Mike's fault.
Yeah, but you just go, hey, you know, like a dating app or something, like, oh, I'm into this and that, and girls with, you know, solar panels in their vagina, you know.
I think Elon Musk is actually working on that. So you're
Yes.
not wrong. You're pretty close.
I heard that's the Model 7 on the Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah. My dick has got some of that Elon Musk on it right now, so.
Listen, I gotta ask a semi-serious question, because I know like everybody's kind of going back on tour and stuff like that, and you guys had like a crazy fucking thing happen in 2002, right? You were on tour and you guys got fucking wrecked by a bus, didn't you?
We didn't get wrecked by a bus. We wrecked a bus.
You wrecked a bus.
Yeah,
well,
we got in a bus.
How do you recover from that? Did you guys have any kind of like trepidation about going back out on the road, like even years later? You know what I mean? Like, how do you recover from something like that?
Yeah, it's like it's there's like a lot of like trepidation when you first like get back to like do that, and it was wild. So we were coming from Luxembourg, you know, and we stopped in Madrid, and we had a double-decker bus that was like they have like in Europe, like more. We don't have them here in the States that I know of, you know what I mean? And so
yeah,
it was a double-decker, and so we stopped in Madrid, and then we were on our way to Lisbon, and when we went, you know, we got back on the road. We went to McDonald's. Everybody fucking, you know, had food, this and that, you know, and then we were going, you know, and Dryden and I were sitting in the top, in the back, you know, in the back lounge, you know what I mean? So the bottom is like the like lounge for that, and then, you know, you gotta climb down a ladder just to go to the loo, you know what I mean? And so we're up there, and I mean, I love smoking weed, and I'm so happy that, because for this reason, you know, I went downstairs to go take a piss, and then I went to the middle, because there's like a sorry, let me get it right. So there's like a middle section.
I appreciate that.
And my bunk was like somewhere in the middle there, but the lounge is like over here. And when we I went to go grab, because we were in Amsterdam, prior to that, and so like I went and got my weed, sit down, smoke some weed, whatever. And when I went in there, I went to walk back into the back lounge. That's when we hit, and I flew from the back all the way to the front, like without missing. Like your head could dip in between any bunk and fucking just, do whatever. You know what I mean? And Dryden, our singer, he was in the back, in that lounge, and he just smacked into the wall. You know what I mean? And I felt it was like such a crazy experience, because it felt like almost like someone just like took a big fucking hammer and just smacked it on the bus. It was like something like that, you kind of like a dream or something like that. And when it happened, I was just like, I just thought like a telephone pole like fell on the bus or something like that. It was just, you don't know. And so we go, I fly to the front of the bus. Everybody else is in their bunks. Well, besides the driver. The driver's fucking dead on impact. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh wow.
And
shit.
And then everybody else, because when you sleep in a bunk, you whatever way you sleep, like sometimes you sleep on your right side, your left side, or on your back, or on your front, whatever. But a lot of people broke their leg, the one that's on the bottom. You know what I mean? Because that's the one that receives the impact of that. And so it was just like that. And I remember, like, I woke up to, and this is the crazy story too, is that Terry, our guitar player, he was on the phone with his girlfriend at the time, and he was like talking to her, like giving her like, a lovey-dovey message, and then it happened. So we got like actual like audio from when it happened, and
holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was nuts, man. It was crazy. And I'm not trying to make it funny, but the crazy part is, and especially Dryden fucking went through a lot, so I'll get to that, but I'd make it like a little bit of fun out of it. When we went to Madrid, not fun out of that. You got what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
No worries.
So it was like really weird, because we went to McDonald's, and I got like a hot fudge sundae, you know what I mean? And so, but when we're sitting back there, I was like finishing that up, obviously that's what I'm smoking weed and whatever. And so so I fly to the front, and that thing fucking got hurled like, towards me. And so when I got knocked out, I went from the front, or from the back of the bus all the way to the front, and like woke up.
Wow.
Like, what the fuck, And I don't know if, like, for me, I'm old enough to where, you take like a physical like education or whatever fucking class, or whatever, like, you not PE, but just to know. And anyway, you learn how to give yourself like an evaluation. You know what I mean?
Right.
You check yourself. You know what I mean? And all that. And I remember I was laying there, and I was like, oh shit, And I was just like, I went from my head, and I was like going down, and I'm checking myself, and I'm touching each arm, making, just to feel each part of my body to figure it out. But when I got down to my knees, there was this like warm, like crazy slimy stuff, and I was like, oh shit. And there's all these curtain rods from the bus that were like laying all around me, and I'm like, I got impaled or something like that, you know what I mean? And and it was nuts. And when I went through everything, I was just like, I go, oh shit, it's just fucking some hot fudge sundae on my knee, you know what I mean? So, that is
That's great.
So
what a relief.
But that's the funny part. But I want to say too, it's, Dryden fucking, got really fucked up in that, and it's crazy, because he he was like right there in the back of the bus, you know, and it was like just like I said, there's like that ladder, so you have to climb down, but you don't want to mess with somebody with some kind of trauma like that, you know what I mean? And he had just broken his neck. He broke his C2, you know what I mean? And he wasn't good, you know what I mean? And we were just trying to figure out, but we're all trying to get out of there too at the same time. You know what I mean? Like as far as like to step over him, but we don't want to move him.
Sure.
And so we're waiting, and we're in this kind of bumfuck Egypt part of like Spain, you know what I mean? And we're just like, you know, there's nothing around there. And so it was just like terrible. And it's like, you know, Dryden and I, we're like brothers, you know what I mean? We've done so much stuff together, you know, for all these years. And it was super sad, you know what I mean, to see like your friend, like, you know, in that state. And at the same time, you don't even know what kind of state he's in. You don't even know what country he's in or what city he's in and all this and that. And that's state, you know what I mean? So
yeah, of course, yeah.
So then it was kind of crazy too, because then it started to rain, you know, and I'm sitting there, I was like, of course, exactly,
right,
you know,
like it's not bad enough.
And then eventually, you know, like these blinking lights are, you know, going, and you see it in the raindrops and all that, and then you walk to the front of the bus and you see your bus driver with like all the circuitry, the wiring, you know what I mean? It looked like you know how muscle tissue looks?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was like into his muscle tissue to where it just looked like he was maybe like a robot or something, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
How long did it take you guys?
What's that?
No, I was gonna say keep going.
I was gonna say, and then we get to this like fucking just like do you remember like fucking what's that movie with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd where they're fucking like doctors and running around and like just doing whatever. Anyway, we were just in like a strange place. I'll think about it. But we were there, and we get to this hospital, and it's like, man, this hospital is like fucking like, I don't know. It's like fucking, it's like my health office at my, you know, elementary school. You know what I mean? It was just like,
they
didn't really have much, you know?
Totally.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I know there's like a little latency, but yeah. So we got there, and Dryden, man, he had to go through all this. He's like suffered all that, like, you know, and they're trying to like make him walk, and lo and behold, and then DreamWorks, which fucking, you know, thank them so much like for that, they got him like airlifted to go to London, to where they put him in full on, you know, like Halo and all that. So when you get put in a Halo, you have to be conscious, you know what I mean? So when they're drilling those bolts into your head here and here, you know,
Jesus,
they have to do it in like real time. And this guy fucking, he's a champion.
Wow. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Because I was gonna say, like, how long does it take, like, you to shake that off where you can go perform again, or like, are you even thinking about that, or is it all just? Did you guys think like this is over, it's done?
Well, it was crazy because the first thing you want to do is like, I wanted to stay there with him because he had to go there and stay in London for a bit, and his girlfriend at the time flew out to go like be with him. He got flown out, you know. Like DreamWorks fucking took care of him like fucking excellent. They were fucking badass, you know what I mean? So everybody involved, they were just awesome, you know what I mean? And then he got flown back. He was in London, you know, getting taken care of, getting, you know, into his you know, Halo. And but the thing is, like, I had this like little conflict with myself, because it kind of scared the shit out of me, you know what I mean? To where I wanted to be there with him, to be strong, and at the same time I was scared, and I was like, I don't know what I can do for him right now. And so, but then, you know, they put us up, well, the rest of us up in Madrid. And it was crazy because the president was coming there to the hotel that we were. So it was like a bunch of hubbub, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And,
what are
what's
the
that?
odds? I said, what are the odds?
I know it's nuts, man. And I remember I had this like really nice room, but it was kind of crazy because in the room it had a long hallway and it had a couple pillars in the room. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And every time I had to like get up and take a piss or take a shit or fucking just whatever, I just felt like there was this like fucking evil energy around me. You know what I mean? Like it was like some kind of something. You know what I mean? It was it was scary.
That's what, Tom, you're muted again.
What's that?
Am I too low? Oh, I said a bad aura. Bad aura. Sorry, mic was low.
Say that one more time.
Oh, it was a bad aura. Like the energy, feeling was all around.
Yes. It was just like something lurking. You know what I mean? It was just like,
yeah.
It just felt like, I don't know, man. It was wild. We were just like on top of the world. You know what I mean? It's like, there was no stopping us, but then we got
stopped.
Immediate halt. You know what I mean? Like, so.
But that was kind of cool that DreamWorks stepped up though and took care of it,
They did it great. And then they brought him into UCLA Medical Center and they took care of everything. You know what I mean? Best they can, obviously.
Right.
But he had to go through, 6 months of being like in traction like that. You know what I mean? Which causes, your neck muscles aren't working, and it's a slow process to get back. And then also, all the shit that gets rattled in your brain. So
yeah.
That's I wanted to ask too, like during this whole process, during the come up, with it being such a tremendous song with the Smooth Criminal song, did you actually get a chance to meet Michael Jackson, or did you ever engage him on any of that?
We went and did the no. So the answer is no. We never met him, but we talked to Jermaine Jackson. You know what I mean? And we went and did like the Michael Jackson tribute, and hung out with all the family and everything. I have pictures of my daughter. Like, just it's funny because we're in like Cardiff, Wales, and we're doing this thing, and it was really cool because my daughter, she was like, I think like 7 at the time, and I'd be showering every day, you know what I mean? Like to go to rehearsals, because we had like 3 days of rehearsal, in this big stadium, and to do this. Right. And it was fun because there's so many like great artists, everybody, like Smokey Robinson, Christina Aguilera, like fucking, like just, and Neo and whatever at the time, and it was really cool. There was so much, and every morning, we'd wake up, my daughter's 7, and I'd be showering, and I'm just like, I got this kind of like anxiety, like I'm like, I gotta go play my best, you know what I mean? And so, but at the same time, I'm like, man, like kind of like, okay. But then my daughter would be like playing, my baby Bella, she'd be playing like just Jackson 5 stuff, and so when we go to catering and all that, the Jacksons, Marlon and Randy, and their families, they love Bella, you know what I mean? And they would be like, Bella, you know what I mean? And like, so she would go sit with them. And I'm like, I'm fucking chopped liver over here, you know what I mean? Like, it was like crazy, and so then the second day of it, I'm like, she's like playing the music, she's all dancing, and I'm like, do you understand that those people that you're eating with, that those men that you're eating with, these are these boys that are singing this stuff, like, it's kind of like a lot for a 7-year-old to understand, and after we're fucking going like all that, and we're doing that just to, and going to Stonehenge and going to, Buckingham Palace. And there's a lot of shit going on in that little brain, and so it was like, it was crazy. So for me, I guess I'm just such a proud papa, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I just, I was like, she's having a whole other thing, but for me, that was like more fascinating, than like meeting the Jacksons, and doing that. But
Yeah.
one of the craziest things is that, for dry, because they have like little cars that go around in the tunnel around the stadium and inside
Right.
there, backstage, or what you want to call it. And I guess Latoya was there, and they open the car door, and she's with her mother. I think it's Marla. And she goes to her and she goes, "Mama, this is the gentleman that sings Michael's song." And then she just, and then she looks and she goes, like here, like kind of like a queen, like
Right.
Yeah.
kiss my
Like you
hand.
could have knelt. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a very unique experience though, because you got to, experience those moments, but through your daughter's eyes. You know what I mean? So like, I don't think everybody gets that kind of feeling.
No, I mean, for me, it's like, I don't know. Everything now, like, for me, before it's almost like before I had my baby Bella, and then after. So it's like, all that stuff. It's unique, but it's just unique. I mean, every time we, eat food together is wonderful
Yeah.
and unique for me. So it's like just all these things are just like kind of just a fun fact, but it's just still the same time that we're spending together as Papa and Bella.
Yeah. Does she remember any of that when she was 7, meeting those guys? Like, does it kind of blow her mind now? Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
Yep.
That's sweet. What would you care if she went into the music industry?
She's one of the best musicians that I know, and she's
Nice.
like an excellent piano player, violin, clarinet, ukulele, guitar. She can play drums, and
nice. Wow.
And she sings fucking just and again, like, not even if she was not my daughter, then I would be like, fucking, this bitch is bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's great.
Yeah.
I always wonder if.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I always wonder if, like, rock musicians ever feel like they want their kids to go into it, knowing like how they had to trailblaze their own career, or if they're like anything but this. Like,
yeah. Well, there is that, but the thing is, I dig the passion. You know what I mean? Of doing what you want to do. You know what I mean? And like, pursuing something like that. You know what I mean? With that, like, vigor. You know what I mean? And you go and you do that, and the cool thing is that she's like going to school right now, and like, again, she's a great musician and everything, and she just went to like first of all, let me say that whenever, like, she was being born, we went to go, like, to the doctor, and they do the sonograms and all this kind of stuff, and and I remember, and it was before, like, the gender reveal, like, in the doctor's office, not the fucking asshole ones.
Nothing exploded. Nobody died.
Yeah. No land got burnt and all that kind of shit. So we go in there, and then the nurse, she said, okay, he's this way, but she wasn't like revealing, but she was just talking kind of in general. But I was like, oh yeah, got a boy. Fucking, and then fucking we went in for the gender reveal, and they go, well, looks like you got a beautiful, healthy baby girl. I'm like, what? I fucking walked out of the room. I'm like, the fuck? We were supposed to be drummers together and conquer the world. What the fuck happened?
That's great.
But, and now I would have it would be, she's just enough to have my one. I mean, I would have 100 of her if I can, you know what I mean? But if they're like her, otherwise I don't need those other assholes that fucking fall off the fucking, all that shit. You know what I mean? I don't need a fucking serial killer in the mix or nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Wow, that went down real quick. You're like talented musician, serial killer. There is no fucking in between.
Well, I mean, yeah, actually, there's no. I've never heard of such. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Oh my god, that's good, dude.
I'm sorry, but she's just like, she's wonderful. She's smart. She graduated 1 year early. So she's the other day she had a linguistics class, and I can't even say linguistics class, and she's 17 in there, and the next oldest age from her is 25, and the oldest age from her is 28.
Wow.
And she kicked butt. She got the best. What would you say? What do old people say? Like, get good marks. She got the best mark. And so she's nailing it. And I'm gonna tell you guys another story. Okay, so
yeah, please,
about my daughter. As we're on here, because this is my time to tell you when I'm and so my daughter, her and her boyfriend broke up, and so as kids do
and
at
he
that age,
suddenly went missing. We don't know. No,
yeah, and so we're there at the boardwalk there in Santa Cruz. It's like where Lost Boys was filmed, where Robin Williams like wrote into Sweet Haven, where John Steinbeck wrote Cannery Row and all this stuff. It's like really nice and fun, and just, there's a beach, there's a pier, there's all like whatever, I mean, everything you want to do, like whatever, there's funnel cake and all that kind of shit, and so and that's some funnel cake, but so we're standing in line, well, I gave, and one of the things is my baby, and this is good information. I know we're kidding around. I'm like trying to be funny, but we dropped her off, and then she got her heart broken, just a couple weeks later, like 3 weeks later, and then she's like, Papa, I want to come home, and I'm like, baby, there's nothing here for you. You go, all your friends are going to school or going to work, and this and that. You're just going to be looking around the corner for the ghost of the boy that you're missing,
Yeah.
You go, so you can't do that. I go, but what we will do is we'll surround you with love and gosh dang it, I think I'm gonna get in trouble if I tell this story, but fuck it. So I went up there with her, and I'm standing in line with her, and I brought her friend Sienna, to go up there, and they stayed, and I'm just giving them everything I can and whatever, and we're standing in line for this ride. It's called the Haunted Castle, and so we're there, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, man, I want to say, I'm just like, because I like to embarrass her, because when we would have like our Disneyland passes, this and that, we go in like single rider line just to kind of get through the line quicker, and she's always like badass and fucking ain't scared and all that, but every once in a while when we get in the middle there, I go, everybody, we got a single rider here, and she's just like, get me the fuck out of here.
Oh, that's great.
And so we're there, and it wasn't single rider line, and I go, everybody, I have Oh no, I'm sorry. My friend Matt just got here. Get your violin out. So says who? So I know, right? And so I go. I'm in the line, and this is a beautiful story. So when I'm in line with her, I'm just like I felt this like little fly in my head, just like going. Took a breath. I'm like, because I'm playing the drums, so I make noise like this, but I don't usually hold the mic and go, hey, everybody, whatever. But when I do, it's just to embarrass my daughter, and I just go, okay, took a deep breath. I'm all, everybody, this is my daughter Isabella. I'm her papa, and I love her. Darted out of the line, and her friend Sienna just like stands there next to her. She'll be okay. I'm like, oh, and but here's the cool part is that then there's a lady standing next to me, or behind us, and she's like, she goes, I love my daughter too, and today's her birthday. I'm all, what's her name? Gabby. Everybody, it's Gabby's birthday today. Happy birthday, Gabby! and then there was another girl that was like further along in the queue, and she goes, I love my son too. It's his birthday. His name's Tyler. Everybody, it's Tyler's birthday. Happy birthday, Tyler! So it was like cool. Just get the rock, like the whole line, just line got rocking with like fucking family love, and it was like awesome.
All positive vibes.
Absolutely, man. She's gonna remember that for the rest of her life, man. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, and the funny part is because she kind of challenged me. Said, I remember when you used to do that stuff. You can never embarrass me, anymore because I'm too cool for that. And so that was before that, and I'm like, all right, So, but then that's when I'm like, the little fly in my head. I'm like, okay, I think I can do it, And then so we went on the ride. Everything's good, and I go, you think I can't do it again? And she's like, what? And so I went to the police there. I'm all, hey, you guys, that castle's fucking haunted. Get to work. And she's like, okay, Papa, no more.
Oh my God, that's beautiful, dude. I love it. So an hour flew by, man. I got to ask you 2 questions that we ask every guest on the show. You got a couple more minutes?
Absolutely, I'm here for you guys.
Awesome. First question is, if you can go back in time and give your younger self a piece of advice that would help you today, what would it be?
Don't get married.
Perfect. That's a great piece of advice. I condone it. The second question is,
first of all, and this is why, it's like what my lawyer Ian Montone, he said, that's the worst business deal you can ever do. So
yeah, I agree. Stacy says, wow. Stacy Cosgrove says, wow.
Yeah, that's my wife.
Oh my God. I think that might be my favorite moment this month on the show. That's so fucking great. Just wow. Amazing. Oh dude, I'm afraid to ask you the second question. What had to end in your life, good or bad, that led you to where you are today?
Well, and this will be probably like the relationship with my mother for a while. I took 10 years off from her,
Wow.
And so I had to do that, and we resurrected, our relationship and like got it back together. But that was a tough one.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
it built something in me that I needed to like kind of get that done,
Sure.
So.
No, I mean, I totally understand. What was the thing that got you at the 10-year mark to kind of go, okay, now it's time to rekindle?
It was it was that now this is gonna go. I don't mean to like
no, go ahead, man.
like crazy stuff, but it was my sister, my young sister Mallory. She was battling like a lot of issues and this and that, but she ended up like, you know, dying in a hotel fire, like that she lit herself. And so
Jesus.
and
Sorry
so
to hear that,
when that happened, I just went, I laid my guns down. I was like, you know, okay, mama, you know, like I got you, you know what I mean? And and this is like something crazy. I'll leave you guys with this story. Is that, you know, she had to get. So I was born and raised Catholic, you know, and the Catholic, you know, fucking church that has like all this fucking bullshit. So that if you like, they always upgrade according to the money that they can get paid. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so it's like, you know, so it's like, you know, when my grandmother, who raised me, you know, my great grandmother, and then my grandmother, my mother had me at 17, so she was a fucking, you know, crazy one. And so we had to do this like thing where when my sister was like, we're gonna have the whatever the fucking ritual service or whatever, you know, and and so it was crazy because I had already like went, you know, a few years before that to go get my grandmother, you know, cremated because my grandfather just couldn't deal with it. So I go do it and get all the business done. And you do that, you know, so I have her in a little box, you know, and then, so we couldn't get my sister's ashes like in time to go and have the service. And it was nuts. And my mom was like, just like stressing, like, you know, we can't get, you know, Mallory's ashes, you know, in time. I go, I think I have a plan. And so I had to take my grandmother's ashes and put them into my sister's urn so we can put them on the altar, you know, right there, like at the Catholic church. And so the whole time everybody's like, you know, crying and this and that. I'm just like, it's something funny. And my grandma was like a funny person too, but you know, not saying I'm funny, but you know what I mean. But it was just like, but it was just like really weird, like staring at this urn and hearing, you know, these people say their mumbo jumbo and whatever, you know, and I'm just like, and it was just like weird. And my mom, you know, and she's crying. Obviously, she just lost a child, you know, and it was like really weird, man. It was really fucking just trippy to pull your grandmother's ashes out. You know what I mean? They're all in like in a bag. You know, you pull it out of the box.
Oh yeah, no, I've got
and then put them in this nice fancy urn that we got from my sister, and we're just staring there. And my mom at one point just out of like just fucking laughter, she just like goes, I can't believe everybody's so sad about Granny just being there like this, and you know, and I'm just like, all right, you know, it was like, everybody's like crying. It's not really her, it's Granny. We're just like, this is
That's great. That's a great moment, though, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a great moment, but I know what you mean.
yeah. Well, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, to have that, but that's just it. Like, I've had moments like that where, like, you know, you're sad and you're trying to remember somebody, and something happens that just connects. You know, my family's Italian. I was born in Brooklyn. We got a large family, and like,
I'm Italian as well.
Nice. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and my family's just basically like, funerals are just like that. They're just, everybody's getting together, everybody's telling stories, laughing, something ridiculous happens. I never knew that ashes weren't really ashes when you got somebody cremated. So we each got, you know, my grandfather's, you know, part of my grandfather's ashes or whatever, and he loved Central Park. And we went to Central Park, and I opened the bag to dump it into the water at Central Park, and it hit like a fucking boulder, and then just cascaded back out of the water. And I was just like, okay. Like, here I'm like trying to have this serious moment, And there's this fucking raccoon that appeared out of nowhere that I swear to God was there just to watch. He's like, these dumb fucks.
Oh man,
I think this is a nice moment. And I was like, oh, just covered in like whatever it was and
Grandpa.
water. Yeah,
Covered
in
grandpa in water.
grandpa and like water that, you know, Italians for centuries buried people, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
drowned people in. So I'm just like,
It's covered in dysentery and fucking all this and shit.
Yeah, we all walked away with diphtheria. It was nice. It was a nice memory. Oh God, dude, this has been a blast, man. Thank you so much for coming on, dude. Really, it was awesome having you.
You know, I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for having me, and you know, we can chop it up another time. You know, whenever you guys, you know, want to do.
Please, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Plenty of goofy stories. If you got plenty of goofy questions.
Absolutely, dude.
Perfect.
Please come back again, man. That'd be great.
Okay.
Absolutely, man.
Hey,
Such a pleasure, man.
Let me leave you with this.
Yeah, sure.
Come on, Matthew, get the hell over here.
Yes, master.
I mean, get the heaven over here. Does anyone ever say "get the heaven over here"? Yeah.
Sweet.
So
I don't think anybody ever says that, but I like it.
You and I been down this road. It's hard to believe we have never been found. Hey, you don't talk about the violin.
It's the violin's fault.
That was amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much, dude. That was beautiful.
Well, you guys, thank you much just for just, you know, taking me on, and so I hope we get to be like friends, for real friends.
Me too, man. Yeah, absolutely. We're
Absolutely.
gonna be out in California end of January, so we should hang out.
Awesome.
I got a gig in Vegas, and then I'm coming out to California.
So I have a couple things to say. So I have my band Mystery Schools.
Yes.
We're about to release our first single.
Awesome.
Don't
man.
Look Back. And so that's going to come out the second week of scheduled of January. So maybe we can just go splash it all over your face and have
Absolutely.
fun. And
yeah, absolutely.
and and then we have well, I have this wonderful artist named Fadine. She's just, I think, 23 right now, and she's just fucking just, you know, she's just like one of those people that you just go like, fuck, man, that's like this. She's just so talented and just has the greatest voice.
Sweet.
And you know, it's kind of trippy because you know, the singer from Mystery Schools, Tyler, he has a fucking amazing voice, and then Fadine has a different type of amazing voice. I'm like, I have all these amazing voices. I love it, you know. So that's I'm producing that stuff, and that's what I'm gonna push. And if you don't mind, like once I get it all done, maybe you guys can just like kind of tag it or
dude, yeah,
whatever.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We're more than happy. To
We'll
get it out
absolutely
there.
plug that, man. Totally. Be happy to do
Cool.
that. Great, man.
Well, awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, you,
Thank
man.
you so much. Such a pleasure, man.
Great
We'll
meeting
see
you.
backstage. Hang out, and we'll join you in just a second.
Dystopia tonight.